Let me guess. You open your banking app, you see your paycheck hit, for a split second you feel rich, and then rent, food, subscriptions, random charges you don't even remember making. And by the end of the month, you're thinking, where did it all go? Now here's the part that's going to annoy you a little bit. It's not a big expense keeping most people stuck. It's the $7 decision every single day. And what most people don't realize is that $7 a day, yes, $7, can quietly turn into $100,000 over 25 years. No lottery ticket, no crazy crypto bet, no six-figure salary required, just math and behavior. And this is where it gets really interesting. My name is Thomas, and in this video, I'll show you how $7 a day quietly becomes $100,000 over 25 years. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard but never quite getting ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out, because today we're going to break down the exact math behind turning $7 a day into $100,000, why almost nobody actually does it, the psychology that keeps the middle class stuck, and how you can start immediately. Look, this is simple, but simple does not mean easy. Let's start with part 1, the math nobody takes seriously. Let's start with the raw numbers. $7 a day, that's $49 a week, about $210 a month, roughly $2,555 a year. Now here's the thing. If you just saved that in cash for 25 years, you'd have $2,555 times 25 equals $63,875. That's decent, but that's not $100,000. The real magic happens when you invest it. Historically, the U.S. stock market has returned about 10% annually before inflation, according to long-term data from sources like Ibbotson and S&P historical performance records. Adjusted for inflation, it's closer to 7%. Let's use a conservative 8% annual average return. If you invest $210 per month at 8% for 25 years, you don't get $63,875. You get roughly $199,000. Yes, almost $200,000 from $7 a day. Now you might be thinking, yeah, but markets don't always return 8%. True. Let's say it's 6%. At 6% over 25 years, you're still around $138,000. Even at 5%, you're flirting with $120,000. So where does the $100,000 number come from? It's actually a conservative middle ground estimate, assuming long-term investing, minor interruptions, and human imperfection. Here's what most people don't understand. The majority of that growth doesn't come from you. It comes from time and compounding. Going to part 2, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's break down what actually happens over 25 years. In the early years, nothing exciting happens. Year 1, you're investing $2,555. Year 2, maybe you're at $5,300 or so. It feels slow. It feels pointless. This is the psychological trap. Because in years 1 to 5, your growth mostly comes from you. But around year 15, your money starts working harder than you. By year 20, the interest being generated annually may exceed your yearly contribution. By year 25, a massive chunk of that total isn't what you put in, it's growth. That's compounding. Albert Einstein allegedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. Whether he actually said it or not doesn't matter. The principle is real and powerful. But here's the problem. Humans are terrible at understanding exponential growth. We're wired for linear thinking. If I told you you'd get $2,555 per year for 25 years, your brain says, okay, that's about $63K. But your brain struggles to grasp what happens when that money earns money, and then that money earns money, and then that money earns money. It's like planting a tree. The first few years, it barely grows. Then one day, it's providing shade, and you forgot how small it once was. Part 3, the psychology of $7. Now let's talk about why this almost never happens. $7 feels insignificant. It's coffee,
It's a delivery fee. It's an app subscription. I'll just grab something quick. And here's the thing. Your brain discounts small amounts. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting. We categorize small expenses as harmless. But $7 a day isn't one decision. It's 9,125 decisions over 25 years. And those decisions are invisible. That's why the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the average American household spends thousands per year on discretionary categories they often underestimate: food away from home, subscription services, impulse buys. It's not that people are irresponsible. It's that small leaks don't trigger pain. Large losses do. If I said, give me $25,000 right now, you'd panic. If I said, spend $7 today, you shrug. Same money, different psychology. Challenging a dangerous assumption. I think this will be part 4. Challenging a dangerous assumption. Now let's challenge something that might upset some people. The middle class often believes income is the solution. If I just made more, I'd invest. Look, income matters, but behavior matters more. Because if you can't control $7 today, you won't magically control $70 tomorrow. Lifestyle inflation is real. According to multiple surveys from organizations like Lending Club and PYMTS, even many six-figure earners report living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because spending expands to fill income. This is where it gets uncomfortable. If your expenses rise with your income, you're on a treadmill, busy but not moving forward. And $7 a day is proof. If you truly can't free up $7 daily, the issue isn't income, it's structure. Going to a real-life scenario. Let me tell you about 2 hypothetical people, Jake and Daniel. Both are 25 years old, both earning $50,000 per year. Jake spends casually, streaming services, takeout, impulse buys, nothing crazy, just normal. Daniel automates $210 per month into a low-cost index fund. He doesn't think about it, he just treats it like a bill. Fast forward 25 years, Jake says, "Man, I worked hard all my life. Where did it go?" Daniel looks at a 6-figure portfolio. Same income, different habits. The gap wasn't intelligence, it wasn't luck, it was automation. Let's move to now you might be thinking. Okay, Thomas, but life happens. Yes, it does. Cars break down, medical bills happen, kids cost money. That's why this works best when automated and separated. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't need discipline forever. You need discipline once to set up the system. After that, inertia works in your favor. Most people rely on willpower. We should rely on automation. If $210 leaves your account automatically on payday, you adjust around it. If you wait until the end of the month to invest what's left over, you'll invest zero. Leftover money doesn't exist. Part 7. The real power isn't the $100,000. The $100,000 is just the beginning, because if you start at 25 and stop at 50, that money can keep compounding. At 8%, $200,000 becomes about $430,000 in 10 more years, about $930,000 in 20 more years, without adding another dollar. This is where it gets really interesting. Time is more powerful than amount. That's why someone investing $7 a day at 25 can beat someone investing $20 a day starting at 40. Time is leverage, and most people waste it. In Part 8, we go to actionable steps you can start today. Let's get practical. Step 1. Audit your $7. Track 1 week of spending. Find recurring small expenses. You're not eliminating joy, you're reallocating it. Step 2. Automate $210 monthly. Set up an automatic transfer to a retirement account, a broad market index fund, or any diversified long-term investment vehicle. Step 3. Increase 1% per year. Each raise, increase contribution slightly. You won't feel it, but in the future you will. Step 4. Remove friction. Delete saved payment methods for impulse apps. Unsubscribe from retail emails. Reduce temptation. This isn't about deprivation, it's about intentionality. Part 9. The deeper truth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail financially because they don't understand math. They fail because they underestimate consistency. $7 isn't about coffee, it's about identity. Are you someone who consumes or someone who builds? Because every $7 decision is a vote, and over 9,000 votes, your life changes. Look, this isn't flashy, it's not viral. No one brags about investing $7 a day. But 25 years from now, you won't care about the coffee. You'll care about freedom, the optionality, the reduced stress, the ability to say no. And here's what most people don't realize. Wealth rarely explodes into your life. It quietly compounds in the background, ignored, boring, unimpressive, until one day it isn't. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, redirect $7 a day. Automate it. Don't touch it. Let math work harder than you.
And then come back in a year and tell me it didn't change how you think about money. If this shifted your perspective even slightly, hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up and comment below $7 invested, because small decisions create massive outcomes. And 25 years from now, you'll either have $100,000 or 9,125 forgotten purchases. The choice is quieter than you think, but it's happening today.